Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Man Bites Film. This week we're going to be reviewing two great horror films. The first one that I want to review is Phantasm, and the next one that I want to review right after that is going to be Alien Abduction. Phantasm is strictly streaming on Shudder. If you don't know what Shudder is, you can follow the link below, and it's basically a streaming network just for horror movies. Fantastic streaming network, actually. And Alien Abduction is only on Netflix. So these two great horror movies, I wanted to do it in, I guess, dedication to George Romero passing away, obviously. I wanted to do a little tribute video and dedicate two great films that are influenced by his directing and his producing. Alright, George Romero, if you don't know who he is and you've been living under a rock for half your life, well, he is the inventor of mainstream horror zombies. Alright, this man literally started the genre of zombies chasing after humans to eat brains. Walking Dead, all these great TV shows, movies, and all that stuff came because of his influence on cinema. So he is the key to all zombie films that came out of horror genre and all that. So he is the key to that, and I just wanted to pay my respects to his life and achievements. So I'm dedicating this episode to him and his life's achievements. So straight into it, Phantasm is the story of this kid that stumbles across basically this grave robbing tall guy that decides to steal bodies. You don't know why he's stealing the bodies until about halfway through the film, and I'm not going to reveal that, obviously, but it is a very interesting plot, and it's a very interesting, like, story that it goes into, like, parallel universes and all this stuff. For a horror film in the 70s, late 70s as it may, 1979 to be exact, it's very interesting because it took horror and it made it more cerebral, I guess you could say, and it kind of like it took what 2001 did for science fiction and it did it for horror. It actually gave it a twist. It gave it a storyline instead of just blood and guts and gore and scare. That's all horror films were up to this point. And Phantasm really, in mainstream audience, didn't. Before Phantasm, there was nothing like this. Alright? This has an actual plot. It has character development, and it builds the world for sequels, which there's plenty of. Recently, the last one just got released in 2015, 16, and it's Phantasm Ravager, and this is also going to be coming up soon. I'm going to doing a review on it because I've never seen it before, and I've never seen the Phantasm films. I've just heard of them, and it is a great film. I enjoyed it, and it does not feel like a film from 1979. It holds its own. The special effects, the graphics, the storyline, everything holds true even to today's standards. Obviously, some of the effects are a little cheesy and all that stuff, but they get away with it very, very well. And especially for like this type of sci-fi twist to it, a lot of the special effects were very cheesy back in the 70s. And they did a good job of masking them and keeping them so that it's timeless, basically. If it wasn't for the clothes and the language that they use, you really wouldn't know that it's the late 70s, early 80s. So it's kind of, it throws you off with that, and it keeps you interested in the film. Because obviously we're not used to certain types of films and all that stuff that were rampant in the 70s and 80s, and it's very hard to stay focused on a film like that. This one does a good job of that, and the story is very interesting and keeps you going throughout. Basically, it's a horror movie, so if you don't like horror movies, definitely do not watch this. It's not a jump scare horror movie, it's more of a psychological thriller in that sense, and it kind of creeps you out because it creates the whole legend of the tall man and the phantasms, which is very cool because it builds the starting blocks for all these type of horror films. and it gives them that backstory. The killer himself, it gives them that backstory that actually keeps you coming back for more and more and more. That's why they created these sequels after. It keeps you interested in the character and the world that they create. So Phantasm was a phenomenal find. I've always wanted to watch this, and I give this an 8.5 out of 10. It was a fantastic film, and I will be owning this soon. Next one that I want to go straight into is Alien Abduction. This is a Netflix film that I think it was bought by them in one of the what do you call it, independent markets and all that stuff. But I was pleasantly surprised with this. It is basically a vacation film. These family decides to go on a vacation to North Carolina, the Brown Mountain. And apparently there's a legend about the Brown Mountain lights. And these lights are supposedly like UFOs. And there's a whole legend behind it and a whole subculture in North Carolina about this one mountain. It even comes out in the X-Files, which I found very interesting. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I love these type of stories because they're based in reality, but you know, just throwing a little bit up there, a little bit of imagination thrown in there, and it's a nice little horror twist to it. And it basically revolves around them going on this trip and getting lost. Like every sad horror film, this is how it all starts. It breaks down the family and it just creates havoc because they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't have a leader. There's nobody really to tell me where to go, because they make off with the one leader that they had right at the beginning of the film. So you don't know what's gonna happen next. And the whole film is actually shot like a documentary style, and it's shot by an autistic kid that one of his little quirks is that he videotapes everything. He sees the world through the camera, which I found a very interesting twist, and I thought that was really cool. It gave the character depth, and I thought that it kept very true to the autistic styles of a child. The mannerisms, the speaking habits, everything was very true. A very smart kid, and he couldn't let go of the camera though because that was his tool of seeing the world. And I thought that was a very cool twist on the mockumentary style film, and they basically get lost even further into this, and it goes into some weird Walking Dead type of crazy thing that all these cars are broken down. This one scene, it just stood with me, and I think it's one of my favorite scenes in the film. They're basically driving, and they know they're lost. They're just like, okay, we gotta figure out a way. And then they see a parked car on the side, and they're like, what the heck is this? You know, the car, and all the doors are open, all the windows are open, everything's open. And they're like, what is going on? Why are all the things, there's nobody there. There's no sign of anybody. There's no sign of struggle. There's nothing. And then they're like, okay, we gotta go. Let's go. So they keep driving, and they see a tunnel, and they're like, oh, awesome. At the end of the tunnel, they'll be able to find something. No. There's more cars in there. And more cars. It looks like something out of The Walking Dead. No joke. Like, all the cars are, like, thrown like that to the sides and all that stuff. And this is where we encounter the aliens for the first time. And it is glorious, the way that they show the aliens. It's a pop scare. It's the only pop scare really in the movie, and it gets you. And it gets you, and it keeps a hold of you because it follows them while they're struggling, and this kid is struggling with the camera because he's just running for his life. So you see the camera swaying all over the place and all that stuff, and it builds the tension so well because you see the feet. You see the alien in the distance, the shadow of it against the walls. Oh, it creates such a good tension, and it creates such a good build in the film, and it creates the tension for the rest of the film. It sets the pace for everything else that happens afterwards, and it is executed flawlessly. This is a gem that I swear I didn't think it was going to be this good. I thought it was going to be a cheesy story, a cheesy film, and I was so pleasantly surprised. So please check this one out. It's called Alien Abduction. Yes, it's a horrible title, but it's a really good film. I give this one a 7 out of 10, and again, this one's on Netflix. So I hope you guys enjoyed our 2 reviews for this week, and I want you guys to check us out every week. On Fridays, we'll be posting up the episodes, and you'll be able to check out the website. Also linking Shudder below, and also Spooky Empire. If you haven't heard already and this is the first time you're joining us, I'm gonna have a booth set up with a couple of our my friends and stuff like that that are gonna be at the booth. I want you to come talk to us about film, argue with us, give us your recommendations, your critiques on the reviews that I've done, and let me have it. I want to hear what you have to say about the films and argue with me about the films, because I enjoy having that talk with you. So that's what I want to hear if you're coming out to Spooky Empire. So again, this is Man Bites Film. My name is Lewis, and I'll see you guys next week.